Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be doing an afternoon tea. Now I'm out in a place called Farmhouse Cafe in Clevedon in Auckland, but I haven't been here before and I was quite keen to check it out. They've basically got a afternoon tea which is like a mystery afternoon tea. I don't actually know what I'm getting, I won't know until I actually get there, and that kind of worries me. I always like to be prepared and know what menus I've got in advance, so this is a little bit different. I've only done a couple of these before, so it could be hit or miss, but I've paid $79.90 and this is their standard kind of high tea. But they've also got three other options. They've got bottomless matcha, they've also got, I think it's bottomless prosecco, and also bottomless champagne. I don't drink and I'm not particularly a fan of matcha, so I've just got their standard high tea. But I'll put all the details about the Farmhouse Cafe afternoon tea in the description bar below. But yeah, so I think it's going to be fun to find out what the mystery afternoon tea is. Obviously it's got the scones, it's got some savouries and some sweets, but other than that I've got no idea. But we'll see how we go and see what the afternoon tea's like. So this is the high tea menu, which is the first time I've seen it, and just been speaking to the one of the owners, Mike. He was explaining it's like a degustation menu as opposed to like the 3-tier kind of tray. So you've got the savoury course first, then the scone, and you've got 3 different scones as well, which is really nice actually, quite an unusual selection. Then you've got a palate cleanser, which is like made in-house gelato. Then the sweet options, and then obviously you can upgrade if you wanted to. So it's really nice to be able to get that option. It's quite a good, interesting choices. It's not the usual traditional, you know, kind of egg sandwich, cucumber sandwich. So I'm really keen to try it out, and it's really busy, so it's obviously really popular. So we'll see how we go. So the high tea options that you have, because I've got the standard high tea, it basically means you can get bottomless teas or 1 barista style coffee. And I actually asked if I could have a hot chocolate instead of coffee, and they were really great at doing that. And look how big this hot chocolate is, it's massive. So that's a really good size. So the savoury course has arrived, and it looks like we've got the beetroot macaron with smoked goat cheese. We've got the salmon tartare. This is the spinach and butternut Swiss roll. And then I was meant to have like a beef cheek croquette that is on the menu just here, but due to the kind of allergies I've got, I'm not able to have that, so they've swapped it out with like a chicken option, and I'll put details on screen of each of the items. So I'm thinking we will go with the beetroot macaron and goat's cheese, smoked goat's cheese first. And again, that's decent sized macaron compared to quite little ones you often get, and savoury, but it's still very pretty, really, really pretty. So we'll give this a try and see what I think. Right, so I think we'll go with the next option, which is the alternative one I've got, which is basically fried chicken with like a honey, I think it's a honey aioli, and it's warm, which is lovely. And yeah, I really liked the beetroot macaron. I did think the goat's cheese was really strong. I'm not a big fan of goat's cheese, but if you love goat's cheese, I think you'll really like it. And I really like the texture of the macaron as well. Really good size, really well made macaron, and I've had a lot of macarons over the years. But I couldn't really taste the beetroot that much because the goat's cheese was so strong. But no, I did really like it, and I loved how original it was as well, the idea of the savoury macaron. So far so good. It's looking good. So let's have, and I love the little dishes come in. So let's have the fried chicken option. And it's actually quite a good portion. So I've just had 2 of their savoury options, and I've had the beetroot macaron with goat's cheese, and then I had these fried chicken strips, really, really crispy, lovely, and the honey aioli just made it. If I could have, I would have asked for seconds. They were really nice. So I think next up, I'm going to have this salmon tartare, and I think from what the chef said, at the bottom it's also got like avocado as well. So give that a try. Okay, so I started eating it, but it kind of collapsed on me. So it is very flaky pastry, and there's just the right amount of avocado in, and it's got like a bit of a bite to it as well. I think there might be like maybe a radish or something inside with the salmon, and it really adds a bit of another texture, which I really like. But yeah, it did kind of collapse on me. So very flaky pastry, very fresh as well. So the last savoury item is this spinach and butternut squash kind of Swiss roll. And then you've got a sour cream and chive kind of cream on top. And again, it's a decent size for a high tea. You definitely get your money's worth. I mean, it isn't bottomless, so you can't order extra of these items. But I mean, you probably wouldn't need to anyway, because they're pretty good size. So let's see if I don't drop this. It's very delicate. Oh, okay, not a good start. Whoops. Right, so yeah. So as you can see, it's a nice big wedge. Just delicately put that down. And we'll give it a try. So I've never actually had a spinach Swiss roll. So this is a first, but it's super vibrant, really pretty. And just the added kind of twirl on top is really nice. The savoury section of the afternoon teas, and for all 4 items I did really like them all. I would say the favourite order would be the fried chicken, then the salmon tartare, then the macaron, and then the Swiss roll. So for the fried chicken, I really liked the honey aioli that it was in, and it was super fried and tasty, and I could have really had more actually, but it was a good portion size. The salmon tartare had a really nice bite to it, really refreshing, super flaky pastry as well. And then the beetroot macaron, I just loved how original it was, but I'm just not a huge fan of goat's cheese. So that's probably why I was put off by that, but it was well made, really well made. The texture was lovely and a decent size. And then lastly, the Swiss roll. Now, I loved how soft and delicate the sponge was with the spinach, and the butternut inside was like kind of a smooth, thick butternut cream, and really nice, really pretty, but probably my least favourite out of all of them, but I did really enjoy all 4. So I think so far for the savouries, that's pretty good. And then next we'll have the scones.
So for scone service today, we've got the Devonshire scone toasted,
Yep.
and then we've got the date scone, and then our 3 cheese scone, and then here we've got a mixed berry compote, and then an apricot jam.
Brilliant.
And then I'll quickly grab the plate for you.
That's great, thanks. Okay, so now it's the scone service. So it's 3 cheese, we've got the Devonshire, and we've got the sweet date. So this is the sweet date. Now you can't tell, but the smell of these are really good, really, really nice. They're lovely and warm. And these are the cheese scones. I think it's 3 cheese. Again, they smell nice. These aren't actually hot from what I can tell, which makes sense because there's cream on top. But actually, I think I prefer the cream in a separate bowl and have the scones also kind of warm, like the other scones, to be honest. But that's just personal preference, really. And then you've also got butter, and then you've got like a berry compote, and then I can't remember what this was, but I think it's another jam. So where should we start? I think I'm going to start with the sweet date scone, just because they do smell amazing. And they were just telling me, I think Laura, the waitress, was telling me that you do get 1 of each item for the savoury course, but actually your scones, you get 2 each, which is great, because again, they're a decent size. I don't know if I'm going to finish all of these by myself, so maybe I'll get a doggy bag, but definitely interested in the date scone. I mean, look how crispy and lovely that is, so, and lovely and warm. So as you open it up, it's a bit like kind of a cinnamon swirl inside, how they've got the sweet date inside the scone. It has kind of fell to bits a bit as I've kind of cut it open. So I might put a little bit of compote on and give this a try. But again, really original. I really like that. So I've just tried 1/2 of it with the mixed berry compote, and they were just telling me this is freshly made mixed berry compote, and it is delicious, really, really nice. And it goes really well with the sweet date scone. It's a really nice texture. Right, so next up is the Devonshire scone with, looks to be a bit more of the compote and cream on top. But yeah, these are cold, they're not warm. So let's just cut open these and just see how we go. Okay, so I've just cut them open. They don't feel as moist. Maybe if they were kind of warm, it might kind of soften them up, but definitely compared to the date scone, I think already texture-wise, I think I prefer those as opposed to the Devonshire. They're a bit smaller, and also the fact that the cream's on top kind of is not as helpful. I think I would prefer the cream kind of in a separate bowl, like with the jams, and then I can kind of spread them, whereas it's all on the top, so it's kind of harder to cut into if you want to cut it in half. And I've just kind of just turned it over and made it into a bit of a sandwich that way. But yeah, it definitely feels kind of harder, not as moist, but we shall see. Once again, I've had more of that mixed berry compote. Definitely a winner. They should really sell this in jars, because I'd definitely buy one and take it home with me. Very yummy. Now let's try the cheese one. Now I must admit, I do have to say that I'm not a fan of cheese scones in general. I prefer the sweet options. This does smell lovely though. So we'll see what it's like, and it's got a really nice kind of crunch to it as well. So yeah, a bit different. So I've just opened up the 3 cheese scone, and it's got a gorgeous texture. It's really warm, nicely moist, with a good crispy top. So it's looking good. I mean, it does smell really nice, to be honest. So I think I will put, probably not butter on. I think you can actually ask for cream if you wanted to. They just obviously don't do clotted cream. Now I can't remember what this one is, but I'll give it a go with the cheese and see what this one's like as well. So I've just had the 3 scone option, and I think I might be converted. I really liked the cheese scones, which is a bit of a shocker to me because I generally don't like them at all. And I think in the order, I think the sweet date scones, then the cheese, and then the Devonshire, which I wouldn't be expecting to kind of put in that order normally. And the jams were lovely. The apricot jam and the mixed berry compote, I would buy those if they had them actually to sell in jars. So I did really like them, but yeah, definitely the date scone wins out of all of them.
So, farmhouse made blueberry sorbet. So with blueberries on top.
Nice.
So it is all made fresh daily. So we have our gelateria, which is just down the back there. So we make all our own sorbets, all our own gelatos. Each week we try and do each different new flavors, and then yeah, everything is made fresh on site daily.
Brilliant. That's great. Thanks. So, like Mike says, this is the palate cleanser. This is the berry gelato, which is made on site, and I love the fact that it's a nice little refresher after the scones and then before the sweet treats. So, a really nice idea.
A opera cake just here. Then we've got the lemon curd meringue just over at this one. Then we've got the raspberry cheesecake just here. And then this is our triple chocolate mousse on top of a white chocolate and pistachio biscuit. So the triple chocolate mousse has dairy milk, white chocolate and dark chocolate.
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
Excellent. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Okay, so again, decent sizes for each of the desserts. Which one do I go for first? So, looks like so we've got the raspberry cheesecake, triple chocolate mousse on pistachio, white chocolate base, lemon meringue tart and opera cake. I think I'm going to go with the lemon meringue tart. So, ooh, very fragile, don't want to drop it. Oops. So, little flour. That's a really nice lemon curd inside, but I would say the pastry is quite thick. It's kind of like a biscuit base, if you can kind of see, but it's very light but quite thick. Probably would be good if it was a bit thinner, but the meringue is gorgeous and the lemon curd inside is lovely and tart, so very nice. Right, so I think we'll next go with the triple chocolate mousse on the pistachio white chocolate base, which looks to be this one, which looks really fragile. Ooh. So as you bite down into it, you've got this really nice chocolate glaze, and then you've got white chocolate, milk chocolate, and I think that's dark chocolate mousse. Really lovely. And this kind of chocolate ganache on the outside is delicious, really like fudgy. So I'm not so keen on the pistachio base, it's really dense. And I love pistachio, but very solid. Probably could have been done with like half the size thickness. I mean, it does taste of pistachio, which is lovely, but just super dense. Whew, getting quite full now. But this element is really light and fluffy, and I really like the kind of outside fudginess of the chocolate. So the next option is this raspberry cheesecake, which looks really pretty, and again, decent size. Really well decorated, very, very pretty. But I'm getting pretty full now, so I don't know if I'm going to finish this, but it looks very refreshing as well. Okay, so that's really nice mousse, really light and delicate, and a bit tart as well with the kind of compote on top. So lastly is the opera cake. Okay, so I wasn't as keen on the opera cake, mainly because I don't actually like coffee or coffee flavoured things. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.